Most people think they're broke because they don't have any money. And I'm here to tell you that the reason why you're broke, and not just broke in terms of money, but broke in your mindset, broke in your career, broke in your fitness, broke in the business that you're trying to run. The reason why you're broke in all of these aspects is because of this graph right here that I'm about to show you. If you don't understand this cycle that we're about to go through, you're going to repeat this cycle forever and without understanding why you're always stuck, why you're always broke. This is the same process that I had to go through to be able to break from my broke mindset and start to have a growth mindset. So with that being said, let's break it down. So the very first stage that most people go through is the uninformed optimism. So this is the hype phase, right? You just found out about the new business and you believe that like, yo, this is about to change your future for the better. You're about to build out the legacy. You're about to go on vacation. You're about to get that new watch that you always wanted. You're about to get that new car. You think it's going to happen within 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever that your favorite guru told you. And this is also the phase where your motivation is going to be the highest. You feel you're going to feel invincible in this stage, right? So when you learn about the business, everything looks good, right? But then once you actually start the business, this is actually what happens. So this is the second stage where you go into informed pessimism. So now that you found out about the business, right? And you're actually starting it, you realize that like, it wasn't as good as I actually thought it was, right? Because the grass is always greener on the other side, right? So now you realize that, it wasn't necessarily as good as I thought it was. There is some cons that I didn't realize before. There's more fees that I didn't realize before. There's hidden cost. There's a lot of cons that I didn't take into consideration. So the plan that you had at first is starting to not work out. You're starting to get friction. I think it's Mark Tyson, the one who said like, everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face, right? So now you basically are getting punched in the face and you're like, I thought that like, this was the method, you thought that this was the way to be able to get that legacy, right? To be able to make money, to be able to make it happen for yourself. And now you're realizing that like, oh, okay, this actually takes some work. Like, it's not just like point A to point B. It's actually point A. Then you got to take a detour to point C. Then you got to go back to maybe point A because you didn't understand the fundamentals. Then it's point B, point C, then D. Like, you realizing that it's not going to be as easy. Now, the third step is going to be the crisis of meaning. What this means is basically you going through the process of questioning yourself. You're questioning like, yo, like, was this even worth it? Because you've been banging yourself against the wall trying to figure out a solution about this business, trying to make it happen, but you still can't. But now you're at a point where like, you're not even sure about yourself. You're losing confidence. You're asking questions. You're questioning basically everything. You're questioning yourself. You're questioning the opportunity and whether that's going to work. And you're starting to doubt whether it's actually going to be worth it. All the work that you're going to put in, you're starting to wonder like, oh, okay, like, is this actually going to work for me? Like, if I put in this much time, how am I guaranteed to actually make the money, right? These are all the things that you start to question because you weren't actually informed from the get-go, right? And I'm telling you right there, this is the stage that most people die, metaphorically. Most people give up in this stage. Most people, they realize that this is not necessarily what they thought it was. And this is exactly the danger zone, I would call it, that most people tend to give up on. Now, after that danger zone, you know what happens for most people? This is why you're always broke. This is what happens. They go into that stage right here. This is crash and burn. And the title is pretty self-explanatory. Most people are going to give up, right? They're going to be like, this business is not really for me. Like, I didn't think that it was going to be this hard. I didn't think there was going to be that much challenges. So in that case, like, I'm just going to, pack my things and go and perhaps maybe find another business that's maybe easier maybe I'm going to find another guru that can sell me another dream on how easy the business is going to be. That business is not for me. And I'm just packing my bags. This is usually what happens here. And I'm telling you right here, this right here from stage 1, 2, 3, and 4, this is what most people go through, right? So you're repeating literally the same process every 6 months. Most people are reliving the same 6 months and they're going through the same stages every single 6 months. You think you're going to take over the world. You think you're Michael Jordan of that business. Then you get to stage 2 and you realize, oh, okay, it wasn't like as good as I thought it was. And then now you're banging your head against the wall because you can't figure it out. And now stage 4, you're like, nah, F it. And I'm telling you, if you're able to break to that cycle, this is the cycle that most people go through. And that's why most people are broke. But I'm here to tell you that if you're able to push past this, this is where the real wealth, the results that you're looking for, this is where it's going to happen. So you're going to have to find a way to push through this, which is stage number 3, and not fall into stage number 4. Because that stage number 4, you're probably telling yourself, this opportunity is probably a scam. It's a scam because it didn't work for me. It's oversaturated, but it couldn't be further from the truth, right? When something is oversaturated, it's actually a good thing when you think about it, because it means that people in the industry are making money, which also means that once you jump into the industry, the business, you can also get a piece of the pie of whatever market you're at, right? In the year 2025, just e-commerce in North America, I've made over 531 billion, something along those lines. 500 plus billions would it be, right? And the amount of, for example, for Amazon, I'm an Amazon seller. For the amount of Amazon seller there is on the platform for Amazon in North America, it's about 5 million, 5 to 10 million, something along those lines. So for anyone that comes into Amazon as an Amazon seller, for example, you're still able to get a piece of the pie because the market is so big and it keeps growing every single year, right? So whether there is like 50 sellers on one product, for example, you're still able to get a piece of the pie and you're still able to make money. So the oversaturation is not the concern here. Your work ethic is. This is the real problem here. But this is the truth that most people won't tell you. And this is why most people crash and burn in that stage. If you're able to push past this, and I'm about to break this down, you're going to be very successful in life and whatever aspect that you do. Now, the 5th stage is going to be informed optimism. So you went through that stage, right? You understood that there is issues in the business model, right? There is cons of doing business, right? It's not all shiny rainbows. You understand that the process is going to take longer, but even with understanding all of that, you didn't quit, right? You did not quit. So with you not quitting, you're actually still understanding the business model and your expectations now are changing. It's not 10K in 30 days. It's 10K whenever I get there, right? Whenever I learn the skills, whenever I'm able to build myself into the type of person who can receive 10K per month, who can receive 20K per month. So you have to turn into that type of person, right? Money is just a multiplier, right? So you become more of what you actually are. So if you're someone that's selfish, well, when you get to 10K or a million a month or whatever, you're going to become usually someone that's even more selfish, right? So you need to be the type of person that attracts the type of money that you want to be making, right? If you're seeing someone that's doing more money than you, they're doing something on their day that you're not. And it's not about the morning routine. It's about the money-making activities. So they're doing more money activities than you, right? And now you're realizing it, and now you're actually taking action, right? So that's the stage number 5, where you're not quitting. You understand this phase that most people quit, and you're still able to push forward. So with informed optimism, this is where you realize that, like, okay, this is the stage where it's basically the turning point. So you understand all of that and you're still able to push through. And the 6th stage, guess what? By not giving up, by still pushing through, you're still able to get to stage number 6, which is where you get all the glory, which is where you're seeing the results of your hard work that you put in. Now you're realizing that the system that you had set up, it's finally working. The results are going to start to compound. This is where you realize that volume negates luck. This is where you realize that consistency is everything. This is also where you realize that you can't lead a business and you can't make money in the business based on emotion. This is the stage where you consistently showed up and now you're reaping the rewards of consistently showing up, right? And this is also the stage where most people are going to think you're overnight success. But most people will never get to that stage, and because they're always stuck in from stage 1 to 4. So they're going to that stage from 1 to 4 with Amazon FBA, with Shopify, with affiliate marketing, with whatever business you can think, real estate, crypto, trading, all of these business models. You're always going through that stage. But for the ones that are able to push through 5 and 6, this is where you're going to be able to get the results. For me personally, I was always stuck in that stage. And as soon as I understood, and where I had the big breakthrough is with Amazon FBA. That's how I was able to, quit my job and do this full time and teach other people how to make it happen with Amazon. But every single students and clients that I've helped also went through that stage, right? You can't avoid this stage, the crisis of meaning. It's always going to be there. So you need to push past this. And all my clients have been able to do so by having obviously the proper mindset training and having the accountability of someone that's already getting the achievement and just helping them getting over the line versus just crashing and burning. You don't want to be crashing and burning. Okay? You don't want to do that. And having a mentor right by your side is really what it's all about. So this is why most people are broke. This took me way longer to kind of understand how it works and why I was always stuck. So hopefully in this video, you're able to understand that you need to push through step 5 and 6 in order to get the results that you want. Now, if you are in the stage where you're completely stuck in that phase and you're looking for a business, you're an employee, you've been looking into starting a business versus just, getting a second job, then send me a message on my Instagram. I teach people how to start an online business with Amazon FBA. Send me a message on my Instagram and we'll see if we're a good fit. But with that being said, this is the stage that most people go through. Once again, hopefully you found this video valuable and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.